This is a Red-tag Shuttlecock Buzzer, or it will be. I've got red glow bright floss in a bobbin holder, which I'm wrapping down like thread to the bend of the hook. I'm using the loose end to control things. Now I've kept it in and I've wrapped back carefully there. That's the tag, and I'm bringing the loose end back over that. That stops the floss spreading out on the finished fly. If you don't prevent the floss spreading with by varnishing the tag or by using this, using the loose end like this, the floss will spread out. Just seems to happen when flies like this are fished. The hook is a size 12 down-eyed dry. I'm using a barbless. It's a Partridge Patriot Ideal Standard dry. But any light wired or medium wired hook will do for this. Bringing on 70 denier black thread, and I'm just wrapping back over the floss, the tying end of the floss. I could tie in the floss with a whip finish, but it would make a bump, so I'm going to do it this way. And then bring the thread back to the tag, where I'm going to tie in some wire. I'm using a fine silver wire. You could use copper or gold. A couple of turns just to hold it in place. The wire's the length of the body, so I don't want bumps underneath this, in the underbody. I'm using black pheasant tail for the body. You can use natural, perfectly fine. I'm taking about 5 or 6 fibres, I'm not sure how many fibres it is, and tying them in by the tip. I tie them in this way to try and get a level or slightly tapering body. I don't want, if I went the other way around, I would get a very different shape. Bring the thread forward to about an eye's width back from where the hook bends down. I've got 4 grey mallard feathers there. I've lined them up by the tip to make a bunch, and then measuring the wing, it's about the length of the hook, and placed on top of the hook. Check length, placed on top of the hook, and just tight turns. I want the fibres to be on top of the hook shank, so I'm brushing them on there, and then a few tight turns to hold everything in place in that short collar. Lift the wing and put a wrap of thread underneath. That cocks the wing up slightly, but what it does is it makes sure all the fibres stay on one side of the hook. I don't want them getting in the way of the eye. Don't go too far back, because I'm going to make these sort of cut this off in stepped cuts. You just nibble away at it with the scissors over a distance, over a length, so that you taper things in quite gradually. And then wrap it over with thread. That gives you a more level underbody. There's no sudden bump. It's a useful technique in a lot of fly tying, that. Bring the thread forward, back behind the wing, and start with the body. I'm wrapping these so the fibres lie next to each other. They don't twist or overlap. I want a slim body, and I want the pheasant tail to cover as much as possible. These will cover a size 12 quite well. If you go for a bigger hook, you might need more fibres. You get more bulk. And bring the bundle forward to the thread. I'll use my finger to keep the tension, so just locking your view. And I want the thread now, and just wrap over. There's going to be a dubbed thorax there, so a bit of bulk from thread isn't a problem. So I can be quite, I can tie it down quite firmly and trim away the fibres. I'm protecting the thread with my finger there. Cut it away close. Tidy it up, and then bring forward the wire in the opposite spiral. Try for neatly, evenly spaced turns of wire, of rib. This is the other side of my fly. The camera is looking at me, so this is not the side I see, which goes some way to explain why the ribs are not that regular. Tie down the wire. You don't want to cut it, it'll damage your scissors, so you tie it down firmly and then wiggle the wire until it breaks. Tidy things up, and I'm going to put in a little thorax. It's I use Hen's Spectra. I'm using a peacock coloured. It's a green-black dubbing. Any medium dubbing is fine. Any black dubbing or it could be any dark dubbing. Seals fur sub, hare's ear, anything like that would be fine. I'd use an absorbent dubbing. This stuff sinks, it takes up water. And then just make a small bulge behind the wing. You can see it's a slightly buggy, leggy, you know, it's not a matte, dense matte mass. The wings, the thread is in front of the wing, behind the eye. Lift the wing out of the way, and the head is just made behind the ring of the eye. I'm not over the eye, I'm not blocking the eye. And cut the thread away, and a dab of varnish finishes the fly. This is a good buzzer. It fishes in the surface, obviously. Good in the winter, good in the spring.